Hi. Have you ever not liked something about yourself or wanted to be someone different or be something different or have something about you change? It's totally okay if you have. A lot of people feel that way a lot of the time. I know I have. And if you haven't felt like that, that's awesome. And I'm so happy for you. But if you have, I get it. And we're going to read a story that is kind of a silly story about that feeling that doesn't always feel silly, right? Sometimes it can hurt. But this is kind of a silly take on it, and noticing the things about you that maybe you don't like, maybe other people do like or are helpful to you in some way. So that's the serious part of it, and we're gonna get silly with it. Okay, this story's called I Don't Want to Be a Frog. And it's a picture of a frog. And he's saying, I don't want to be a frog. I want to be a cat. You can't be a cat. Why not? Because you're a frog. I don't like being a frog. It's too wet. Well, you can't be a cat. I want to be a rabbit. You can't be a rabbit. Why not? Look, I can hop. Sure, but where are your long ears? Besides, what's wrong with being a frog? I don't like being a frog. It's too slimy. That may be, but you can't be a rabbit. I want to be a pig. You can't be a pig. Why not? Most of all, because you are a frog, but also because you don't have a curly tail or eat garbage. I can eat garbage. Everyone says that until they eat garbage. Sorry, you can't be a pig. I want to be an owl. Of course you want to be an owl. Being an owl is the greatest thing ever. Boy, would you love being an owl. So I can be an owl then? No, of course not. Why not? 1, you don't have wings. 2, you don't look wise. 3, you can't turn your head all the way around. And 4, you are a frog. What's wrong with being a frog anyway? Too much bug eating. I see. But still, no being an owl for you. Ooh, what's this? A dog or a wolf or something coming up? He says, why so glum? I don't want to be a frog. What do you want to be then? Not a frog. I want to be a cat or a rabbit or a pig or an owl. Something cute and warm. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Ooh, it's a big wolf. He says, I love eating cats. I love eating rabbits and pigs and owls too. And I am pretty hungry. I might just go gobble some up right now. That's terrible. It's who I am. But guess the one thing I never eat. What do you think it is? What do you think the wolf never eats? Badgers? No, I eat badgers. Lots of badgers. Frogs? Bingo! Why don't you eat frogs? Because they are too wet and slimy and full of bugs. Oh, so it's good to be a frog? Yup. I guess you can't fight nature. We are what we are. You are a fierce hunter. And you are a wet, slimy, bug-eating, very lucky frog. You should just be happy you're not a fly. What's wrong with being a fly? What is wrong with being a fly? What do frogs eat? Flies. The end. So in that story, our main character's a frog, and the frog has a problem, right? His problem is he doesn't like being a frog because it's too wet and slimy and too many bugs, and he doesn't like it. He wants to be warm and fuzzy like a different animal. But, one, he can't change into a different animal. He just can't. And two, there's something good about being a frog. I'm sure there's lots of good things about being a frog, but in this case, the good thing is that the wolf doesn't like to eat frogs, and he likes to eat all the other things that the frog wanted to be. So, being a frog basically saved him from getting eaten, right? So that's a silly version of the story, right? I'm not saying that if you sometimes want to be a different way, that you should think about how you wouldn't be eaten or something, because that doesn't really make sense. It's just in a silly story. But it's important to realize that a lot of the things that you may not like about yourself, other people might really like about you. And even if they don't, it's important to find ways to love ourselves and love the things about ourselves that we don't always like. And it's a really hard thing to do, and it's something you have to work on for a long time. But it's worth doing because it'll make you happier. So for example, I knew a girl in school who didn't like that she was tall. And I never liked that I was short. I always wanted to be tall. I was always so jealous of tall people. Because I was like, oh, they can see higher. They kind of look more like they've got their stuff together, and they look more powerful, I thought. And people go make fun of them for being short. But then I found out this tall girl, she was like, I hate being tall. I wish I was short. Because I stick out like a sore thumb when I'm tall. And people look at me and they do make fun of me. They make jokes like, how's the weather up there? So in that moment, we both realized, that we were jealous of each other. She had a trait that I wanted. I had a trait that she wanted. And there's nothing we can do about it. We couldn't switch. I couldn't all of a sudden have her tallness, and she couldn't have my shortness. But just understanding that the things you don't like about yourself, not everyone sees that as a bad thing. Yeah, there's a good chance that it's a really good thing, whatever it is that you don't like about yourself. There's a really good chance that there's something good about it and something special about it. And the fact that it's just part of you means it's good and special and worth loving. So, that's all I have to say about that. Bye. Oh, I can't find the stop button.